Everyone has biases, even financial advisors. That's a risk that most people fail to consider. Most people never think about the reality or why it's even a problem. I've developed a presentation for college and university students that explores the evidence that the financial services industry willingly overlooks because it's good for business. It seems psychology and peer pressure have led us to a situation where a large segment of Canadian financial advisors simply accept the way business has been done without questioning how the industry works or using critical thinking to reflect on industry attitudes and advice. Instead, most Canadian mutual fund advisors seem prone to the same behavioral traps that they purport to help clients avoid, things like herding, in-group favoritism, and overconfidence. There's a 2016 peer-reviewed paper called The Misguided Beliefs of Financial Advisors, and it shows that Canadian mutual fund advisors act as though costs don't matter, chase past returns, and run concentrated positions. Meanwhile, there's a small mountain of evidence that shows that costs do matter, that past performance cannot be relied upon, and that diversification is the best way to ensure better risk-adjusted returns. Advisors make these misguided recommendations not out of self-interest, but because they think their recommendations make sense. I explore the difference between misinformation and disinformation. The distinction lies in intent. It seems the industry, which is product manufacturers, product distributors, and regulators, is responsible for an ongoing error of omission, one where advisors have come to believe certain things that are just simply false. There's a quote attributed to Mark Twain which says, "It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble, it's what you know for sure that just ain't so." That's a lot of fun because the point is apocryphal. There's no evidence that Twain ever uttered those words. Ironically, many people think it's so, thereby illustrating the validity of the adage. There's another quote that is correctly attributed to Twain, and it makes this point clearly. It's easier to fool people than it is to convince them they've been fooled. It seems the industry has collectively fooled registrants into believing things that are false. Meanwhile, more than 9 years since the evidence was released, the financial services industry has done nothing to expressly disabuse registrants of their false beliefs. Now the hard work of convincing them they've been fooled begins. It's much easier to learn things properly than it is to unlearn things you thought were true, which is why I'm speaking to students before they even enter the industry. It's a preemptive attempt to set the record straight from the get-go. Pre-bunking is a lot easier than debunking. In short, finance industry disinformation leads to financial advisors unwittingly misinforming their clients. The result is disappointing investor outcomes, suboptimal returns, and increased and unnecessary risk. If you're concerned about this, I urge you to reach out to the most prominent people in the Industry Trade Association, SIMA, S-I-M-A, to urge them to develop mandatory course material for registrants that will force them to unlearn the false beliefs they currently hold.